Okay, everyone. We're live out here at Battery Park right now. Making some adjustments on the pole. Okay, so we're live out here at Battery Park, where they're kicking off the first climate action, which is part of the national call to action, which is going to be happening over the next week and so forth. The first rally and march is actually taking place here in New York City, as you can see. Estimates is that there's going to be about 500 to about 800 people who are actually down here. Right now, they just began the rally a little while ago with some of the speakers, as you always know. And as you can see, it's started to get cloudy since we got out there. That's not going to stop the march. The march is still going to go forward. But yeah, we may end up with a little rain out here today. As you can see, Rise and Resist is out here. Veterans for Peace, Quakers NYC, Lower East Side fronts Climate Change, Decolonize Chase, the Decolonize Climate, Jewish Voices for Peace. Basically right now you have everyone out here. The idea is to be live throughout the entire event. It's supposed to go on for 3 hours, started at 5:30. You also have a lot of a number of unions that are actually out here that are present, some of their members, so it's going to be an interesting day. And yeah, getting unions on board is a good thing, especially the workers who are in a lot of the environments where it's been impacting their health. And just heads up for you, Scott Stringer is here as well for the New York folks. The news yesterday, I think it was, in terms of the CPD.
Because we see some extreme weather on the way, and we can expect a lot more extreme weather if we don't act on climate change. Seriously, a lot more flooding, at the same time a lot more droughts, etc. So, real quick on the logistics. Youth will lead the march. Please respect that. Youth groups, please begin assembling by the green flag. Youth groups, now please begin, and youth individuals and families, please begin assembling by the green flag.
So they must be getting ready to march, which is a good thing.
Community groups. This is groups like Make the Road. This is groups like NYCC.
I'm making myself on the outside right now.
You will be second. Please begin assembling behind youth. Please begin assembling behind youth.
Hey everyone,
right,
definitely share it on out.
A couple more speakers and we're going to keep it moving and have a powerful march. Sarah Gronin with 350. Come on up. And so 350, specifically she's with the 350 Brooklyn chapter, and they do a lot of local fights to stop climate change. Sarah Gronin.
Thanks. Hi everybody. All right. 3 years ago, under intense, great pressure from thousands of ordinary New Yorkers, Governor Andrew Cuomo banned fracking in New York. Yeah, we saw what had happened in Pennsylvania, the poisoned water, the polluted air, the fossil fuel funded politicians indifferent to the people they were supposed to serve. And we said, here, no way. We said no way. But under Governor Cuomo, we have got all the fracked gas right here, everywhere. New Yorkers are under siege from fossil fuel companies, and Governor Cuomo has been their enabler. They have been building and are building now big new frack gas fossil fuel plants like the CPV plant
a lot of people out here.
Orange County. They have been building and want to build more frack gas pipelines into and through our state, like the Spectra pipeline that now runs right past Indian Point Nuclear Power Plant. The Governor of New York has the legal authority to approve or deny these kinds of projects, and under Cuomo, it has been thumbs up. Yeah. The Williams pipeline that has already been mentioned,
everyone's in the process of lining up out here.
The Williams company,
getting ready for the march. As you can see, New York rises for climate, jobs, and justice. So as they were saying, they're starting off with
frack gas from Pennsylvania,
which is actually a good thing. It's their future, so it's the right thing
if this pipeline is built, it will harm our marine animals. It will dig old industrial toxins up out of the harbor floor, PCBs, lead into the waters where we swim. It will take $1 billion out of our pockets.
Yeah, if everyone wants to get those pauses, it's me actually trying to go ahead and invite people to the stream.
This pipeline, the Williams pipeline,
and
will
they basically
accelerate
have no idea where they're marching to.
Natural gas, whether fracked or not, is methane. And in the short term, methane is 84 times
It would be
more
nice if
powerful
they're marching up to
greenhouse
Cuomo's
gas
office.
than carbon dioxide. If we want to stop the rise in global temperature, if we want to protect our shoreline communities from global sea rise, if we want to dampen down the heat waves that threaten the most vulnerable around us, if we want to prevent the kinds of storms like Sandy and Maria that so devastated communities, right? We know what to do. Governor Cuomo needs to stop the Williams pipeline and all these fossil fuel projects, right? Yeah. This is why we're here tonight. We've got a vision of a just society, a society with good jobs, the kind that can build the energy system we need, an energy system characterized by community control, by sustainable, renewable energy, right? We need to, that's why we're rising up for climate, jobs, and justice. Rise up. All right.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Again, youth begin collecting by the flag, community groups begin collecting behind them. Next up, we have from Global Kids, coming out right here, we have Munsura Tana, and, and Muhammad Rashida with Global Kids.
Good evening. It is truly an honor for us to be here with you all. It is especially thrilling to see so many beautiful people and passionate young people in the fight for climate justice.
My name is Muhammad Rashida.
And my name is Mansura Tanha.
We are both 16 years old and we are Muslim American immigrant women from Bangladesh. We're not only here as youth leaders representing Global Kids, but as young Muslim American women who too often feel neglected and isolated in our own society.
It is essential for young people like ourselves to get involved in a fight for climate justice. It is important for us to be aware of all the different issues affecting our country, our world. All above, it is important not to be silenced, not to let the voice of fossil fuel industry overpower our own. Today we stand on the shoulder of giants, of social activists who have gotten to where we are today. Now young people must be on the front line of making positive change to protect our future. This is why we demand a rapid and a transition of 100 clean, renewable energy now.
Our clean air and clean water cannot be taken for granted. We need bold climate action. Our generation is the last line of defense against climate catastrophe. Dear future generations, I'm sorry. We will not stay on the silence, and we won't allow our elected officials to we will not accept anything but real climate leadership.
This movement, this challenge is huge. We recognize that. We have learned it requires a huge amount of faith, hard work, and often risk-taking. So in the spirit of risk-taking, today we decided to take one, and we're going to share our poetry with you all. Slowly. At first, there was peace. Centuries of serenity. A community filled with shade of green and blue. Then came the storms. Storms beating against the tin roof over the heads of millions. Homes that took decades to build, taken away in minutes. Waves so powerful, they wiped away identities. The storm that flooded my grandfather's village, climate injustice and world apathy have left my people and billions of others vulnerable, broken. Broken in our homes, in our jobs, in our future.
And then came the flames, the fire, the factory collapse. April 24, 2013 in Bangladesh, 8:57 a.m. Workers of all shapes and sizes trapped. Mothers, daughters, brothers, sisters. My very own family scrambling to contact my uncle. 1,134 dead. I'm not sure if you heard me, but 1,134 dead. Their stitches are woven into the very own clothing that you wear. Capitalism and the climate.
We see you. Amritomake Dexi.
Screams filled the streets. The news hit me, leaving me breathless and shaking. My heart cried for the innocent people in my home country of Bangladesh. Breathe in.
Breathe out.
What do you do?
What do you do?
But then there was an uproar.
People of all races, ages, ethnicity coming together to embody a movement.
A global movement for climate, jobs, and justice for all.
We are the resistance!
All right, now we got one more speaker, so it's about to get real. Yo, youth, make some noise over there. I see you. That's the front of the march. Got it. So youth is going to lead. Community groups, again, begin lining up. You'll start to see a big swath of orange. With that big swath of orange, line up there. You can make your way now. We got one more speaker, and Denise is going to introduce our final speaker.
All right, so next up, Chris Erickson is the business manager of Local 3 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers here in New York City. IBEW Local 3 and its 30,000 members are at the forefront of the transition to renewable energy, building a sustainable and energy efficient city for all of us. Chris, come on up.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody, brothers and sisters. Again, I'm the last speaker, and we're going to hit the road here. Last week, I was fortunate to be part of a delegation from Climate Jobs New York, comprised of New York labor leaders in conjunction with Cornell University's Worker Institute, and that would be Lara. And we visited Denmark to learn about the offshore wind industry. As you may be aware, New York State is committed to building 2.4 gigawatts of offshore wind and will be a driving force for the offshore wind industry on the East Coast of the United States. I'm encouraged and motivated by the governor's clean energy, jobs, and climate agenda, but at the same time, I am torn. It's been 4 years since the People's Climate March here in New York City, and while there has been progress, we have failed to elect some who should have carried the torch of change. Trump and his appointees are moving us in the opposite direction. Other countries like Australia have followed his lead. I've been to China. I've seen the effects of a lack of regulation and a concern for the environment. I had to wear a mask in Beijing and Shanghai, and I witnessed the toxic exposure that people and children are forced to endure. America cannot become a country where our children are forced to wear masks just to go to school. China is a clear example of a country putting profits before people. I knew 4 years ago that it would not be easy, and that our fight for climate change was an economic fight. Wealthy, powerful corporate interests would not just surrender. But time is running out. The time to stand and demand change for our planet, for our lives, and most importantly, the lives of our children and our grandchildren is now. The whole human race is at risk. The world needs America to lead. They are dependent on our ability to fix this. So I urge you to do the work. Do what it takes to wake up and call on our fellow citizens to demand affordable, renewable energy, good, sustainable climate jobs, and most importantly, a healthy planet to sustain us with clean air and clean water for all. It's been said that there are no jobs on a dead planet. Local 3 is proud to partner with the New York Urban Green Council, Align, Trade Unions for Energy Democracy, the Labor Network for Sustainability and Climate Jobs New York, and you, my brothers and sisters, united around the shared goal of combating climate change, reversing inequality by advocating for an ambitious clean energy economy, creating good union jobs, more equitable communities, and a more resilient New York. It's our time. We will not be silent, and we will not fail. Thank you very much.
Okay, they're getting ready to march. So I'm gonna maneuver around.
We got a group from Canada that just tells us that today, just recently, they stopped the Trans Mountain Pipeline. And this is a huge victory because tar sands are a huge cause of climate change. Huge victory. So we're starting off real strong today, real strong. Now we're getting a really good order over here. We have the youth up front. Youth, make some noise. Behind youth, we got community groups. Community groups, make some noise. And we're gonna fill in behind them. Now what time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Jobs and justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise for climate, jobs, and justice.
Okay, I'm gonna swing around.
What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise for climate, jobs, and justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise for climate, jobs, and justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Climate, jobs, and justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Climate, jobs, and justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. I say, what time is it? It's time to rise. For climate, jobs, and justice. What time is it?
Okay, so they are going out the other direction, so I'm moving around up towards that side.
What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? For climate, justice. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? For climate, jobs, and justice. If you are in the park and didn't plan to participate, come on down and participate.
Okay, so the march is starting. It seems that they're heading out towards Broadway. So Native American, Smithsonian Museum down here, Native American history. So I don't know if they're specifically going up Broadway. I would think so. I hope they're not going, well, they could be going across Greenwich. If I remember right, there was a march that actually went that way at one point. What's up, man?
See you.
I'll save.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, we're gonna have cooling it off though.
Yeah.
If it doesn't pour rain, I'm fine. Okay, so they're headed out. I'm down in this area just because I want to avoid the hard part is going to be after filming their march, live streaming their march, is actually trying to download this video. Yeah, I did get video before, which I'm going to send out to some of the news outlets, but yeah, the march is what I wish I had done. But if I do that, I can't be streaming, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep the stream going as it's going on. They're going to be coming out this direction, and I think they're going to be going down Greenwich. I'm not sure. We'll see. Just because Broadway's a one-way street, and I can't see them, you know, well, they could, but I don't see them, considering they have an escort right here. Hey, Ashley. Philip. And hi, Ann. So where the march is coming out of Battery Park, where a rally was taking place. This is a kickoff for a series of marches and events that are going to be happening over the next week or so. And it's actually in the description. But it seems like they're kicking off this week of climate justice in New York. And this is it. So So as you can see, they're getting ready to step off from here, and they're going to be marching down Greenwich. So I'm assuming they're going to head straight down Greenwich and possibly either around the World Trade Center or straight down. If I remember right, I think that's what they did one year. Don't forget to share the video, the live stream out, as well as go ahead and invite your friends to view the stream. If you can donate, please do. No donation is too small or too big, but every bit allows me to actually get to the places that I get to when these actions are happening. Everything from subway fare to bus tickets, which I always go for the cheapest, to DC or Albany. So as you can see, New York renews with New York Communities for Change. Fight climate change. Terminate enemy of planet Earth. Yeah, go ahead and share it to any of the pages. Share it on any of the pages you're on. Invite, you know, like I said, just click on the, I think it's the little guy down there with the viewer. Sorry about that. It's starting to rain, so yeah, every once in a while, I think the raindrops are going to be hitting the screen. So if things look a little strange, it's because it's raining right now.
What do we do? Human rights, what do we do? Water, it's under attack. What do we do? Water, it's under attack. What do we do? Stand up like that.
I'm trying to see here to see how much are coming out. New York City labor force. I want to see how many people are actually, how long the march actually is. It's still extending into the park, but then I'll rush up to the front part of the march to actually get a better view, let you guys see everything coming. And if they are going straight down, I'm going to be able to get a nice overhead view of the march as it's going. It just depends. Okay, as you can see, people are coming out. The march is still going along strong. Just kicked off, even despite the rain. Even along the sides, musicians out here, and you got to give them credit. They're out here always. This group, they're always out at everything that goes on. So everyone has a little music, keeping them going along. As you can see, people's puppets out here with Liberty, with the life preserver on. Yeah, and if things don't change, that may be a reality. Sorry if I'm not keeping up with everyone tuning in. Sometimes the threads get a little backed up. Like I said, for anyone in New York right now we're marching down Greenwich, just out of Battery Park. Hey, Ashley. I'm working on that right now. This is for Ashley's asking if there's a schedule of events. I actually just did find a good calendar where I can put events in and other people can actually put events in. And I'm working to actually do that right now. I know I have it on the OWS Outreach /canvassing Facebook page. But I need to actually put it out a few other places. But that's basically what I'm going to be using, just because it's an easy tool to list events. Yeah, because I've been having a problem myself keeping track of everything. I get some events by email, some events, you know, word of mouth, some on Facebook, but I realize a lot of people are having the same issues. So, okay. Right now we're at this point. Guys, yeah. I know, you want to give them a photo, but...
You're really, I mean, it's like too much. Come on, guys, come on. Keep on.
Yeah, when I'm photographing, I just keep moving.
Yeah,
it's basically like floating, and I keep backing up as I'm going. Because you don't want, I know that distance. Hey. Yeah, as you can see, they're still coming out of the park in there. This is a long march. There's definitely over 1,000 people out here. It's going strong, and it's going to be going strong at least for the next hour and a half. So I think they're either going to be headed down towards City Hall, or they're going to be heading up to Cuomo's office. And considering it's supposed to go for 3 hours, it's possible that they're going up to Cuomo's office. I see about the end of it right now, so I'm going to start working my way up. Right now, it's my way of trying to catch up to the beginning of the march, which I will end up doing. Yeah, I really need to find a way to make sure that in addition to live streaming, I can also separately do my video and upload that. And since I have the other phone, what I may end up doing is for events like this to actually go ahead and use the other one just as a prepaid, which is what I got it for initially. But it's a real good phone. And in some ways I think it's better quality than this phone. So I may start using that, and when events like this come up, just put time on it in order to capture separate video so I can upload it. Because like I said, it's going to be a pain trying to download this later and then cut out pieces for media use. Okay, so they have to be extending right now all the way up to Zuccotti Park. Okay, so they haven't made any turns, so they're definitely walking straight down Greenwich. Some of you are probably thinking it would have been better on Broadway, but with this group and type of action, it wasn't going to be a situation where they would march up Broadway against traffic. It just wasn't going to happen. Okay, so right now I'm gearing up towards where Rector Street is. And I can actually see the police vehicles up front. They're in the front of the march, so
ain't no fire like the fire of the sun. The fire of the sun, don't stop it, what? Ain't no fire like the fire of the wind. The fire of the wind, don't stop it, what? Ain't no fire like the fire of the wind. The fire of the wind, don't stop it.
Okay, so they'll extend right down the march from Rector. It's actually, yeah, it's almost at Zuccotti. So from where I'm at right now in back of Trinity Church, the brick wall, the march extends basically back to Battery Park. So like I said, there's over 1,000 people out here right now. And what you have right up here again is the youth groups that are coming down. I'm probably gonna rush up to Zuccotti just so I can get a view from that point as they're passing by, unless they decide to march through it. Okay, based on where they're at, I'm gonna rush up front, say hi to Ken. Okay, so I'm gonna work up front where I can actually get a better view on that as well. And as you can see, what's perfect about this is people are doing solid, real outreach. As you can see, we're right in the back of Zuccotti Park right now. And the march, like I said, is going across Trinity Place. Greenwich turns into Trinity Place, I guess. Or it divides and you have Trinity Place. So we're at Trinity and Liberty right now, which is the back part of Zuccotti Park, or Liberty Square. Okay. I hate doing it, but I gotta go on Brookfield. Yeah, Brook Brothers. It's not the original Brook Brothers. They were actually brought out a while ago. The original I remember. Again, that's a whole other life. Thanks to everyone that's sharing the live stream out. Thanks to everyone that's inviting their friends to tune in. Like I said, it's getting pretty windy out here. It's not really pouring rain right now, but it's got some rain coming down off and on. So depending on how far, I mean, if it's supposed to go for 3 hours and they started at 5:30, I'm assuming it's like 6:30 now. If they're marching to City Hall or making a stop there, that would make sense. They may, and that's a long shot, be marching to Cuomo's office uptown. It's doable, but I don't know how people would handle it if it starts rain coming down. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not sure of exactly where the end point is going to be. Could be the federal building, EPA. Also, could someone look up, if you look in the title, that's also the name of the event page. Is there someone watching right now that could share, I think it's shareable right now, sharing the link over to the event page for this? If you can, that would be great. This way, anyone watching that's trying to catch up with the march can get a good idea of where they are. Yeah, I'll be rushing up to the front of the march. Even if it pours rain, you guys know I'll still be out here. Rain, sleet, or snow, I'll be streaming. And it's a hangover from the 2011 to 2013 period when, yeah, we were marching in rain, snow, windy weather, bad weather, good weather. Jeff, Ruben. Yeah, Jeff, some of your union people are out here. International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers and a few others. It's the kickoff for the, there are going to be rallies, climate rallies, justice rallies taking place across the country over the next week. And it's in the description, but the kickoff rally in March is taking place today in New York City. It started off with a rally in Battery Park, where there were a few speakers, as well as Stringer, I believe the president for IBEW, a number of other people from Bangladesh, 2 young women from there. And they actually just started marching maybe about 30 minutes ago. What you're looking at is the end of the march. This extends all the way up to, what is that? Not Chambers, but about where City Hall is. They're marching across Church right now. Okay, I always try to get as much of it just so everyone has an idea of the scope. Also, because I know a lot of times people put a lot of effort into coming out, and even though they're not necessarily doing it so that people can see them on live stream or in news footage, I like it when people can actually look and actually see their stuff and the work that they did on Facebook and photos and live stream. It's a good thing. It helps keep them motivated. It's something they can share out with friends. Encourage their friends to come on out. So yeah, as you can see, some people, tourists in New York, are huddling in a few doorways because it's raining. And someone said, yeah, if there is weather controlling equipment, hopefully Trump hasn't gotten his hands on it and he's like raining down on the parade, on the march, which has happened a number of times. So we're passing. Yeah, this is when you actually get a sense of the dedication of people. I understand a lot of people don't want to get soaking wet, but the reality is you need to be out there even when it's raining. It's not like it's pouring down. I don't think even pouring down should actually be a reason to necessarily stop, but you need to be out there even when it's raining like this, whether an umbrella, whether you get wet, whatever it is, because that's one of the things that makes a bigger statement, and a specific statement visually, because it shows just how important or how serious an issue that it is, and that people are willing to brave the weather regardless of what it is, in order to make sure that the message is shared out. So, federal office building, the U.S. Post Office. So the front of the march is maybe like 2 blocks ahead of me right now. Look, look, look. Come on, people, look, look. Where are you going? Sorry, guys. People have a tendency to not look where they're going sometimes. So we're passing Barclay right now. Got parked right up ahead. And the name of the street that I couldn't think of offhand. When I said the march was extending from Zuccotti Park all the way down. It's like yeah, the fact that it's not a main street. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that, but excuse me. But I know that that's not going to happen. Excuse me. Okay, Church and Murray was the street, basically extending from Zuccotti Park to Church and Murray, when I had mentioned that at first. Like I said, there's definitely over 1,000 people out here. There is a food workers union.
What side is this? What side is this? What side is this? What side is this? What side is this?
And I know that they're working with groups here in New York City. I definitely know that the union is active in Las Vegas. I don't know the details. If Jeff is still on the stream, he probably knows more about the Food Workers Union than I do. But I know for sure there is a Food Workers Union. Or maybe it's specific to like Las Vegas just because of the hotel industry. But I would think, you know, in New York City, which I'm pretty sure there is. Okay, so right now we're at Church and Chambers. So, and it looks like what they're going to be doing is turning on Chambers. So they actually may be going to Foley Square. Good. And the rain felt good. Yeah, the fact that this is the S7. That their kids, yeah, I understand the march going a certain way called all fracking infrastructure. I agree with that 100%. One of the things I actually felt needed to happen, as well as if you made it illegal for the storage and transportation, fracked water, fuel within the state of New York, that means it wouldn't be able to be transported, which would apply to any of the pipelines as well as trucks coming through the state with it as well. Good. Remember S17 coming up on that.
It's a Monday.
Yeah, so if you want to do something, it's like, you know, well, you know how it used to be, but basically, yeah, me and Marnie have been reaching out and stuff. She's going to do the press release, so if there's something you want to do. I talked to Donna about, yeah, you know, the station wanted to do a podcast from there or whatever, you know, that would be great. But if you want to do a talk on something, just like me or Marnie.
I'll say yes right now.
Okay.
But I was planning on going there anyway. I'd love to do some renewable energy efficiency.
Okay.
You know, there's absolutely no energy efficiency stuff here. None.
Yeah, I know. And I thought people were working on that. Well, it was him and them that were working on it.
Yeah, you got the big greens who are running this, and they don't do efficiency. They do wind, that they're being paid to do. And I just sent an email around to like every group. They just put up the largest wind farm in the world. Right, 669 megawatts or something.
Right.
If the wind was blowing all the time, even during the hottest time of the day, we use 13,000 megawatts at our peak. We would need 20 wind farms the size of the biggest in the world to cover that. So the people who say replace all the fossil fuel with wind, it can't be done. You have to. They have a combination of poison. We have to have a combination of non-poison.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
But the big greens just do not do that. They just don't.
Well, that's might be some area to actually talk about that on that.
Okay.
It's up to you. You know, I know Marnie's going to do a press release next, probably right next week.
I don't mind pissing people off because I'm just tired of this low efficiency, the cheapest and fastest way to lower our carbon footprint, and they won't even mention it.
I know, and it should be.
Yeah.
But it's not thinking, or don't care.
They're not educating themselves because they think they already have the answer. If anybody disagrees with them, they just disregard them. Instead of having a dialogue, trying to convince them of their point, they won't have a dialogue, they just disregard you. Sure. It's like, I won't learn from you, you won't learn from me, but I won't learn from you if we just disregard each other. Anyway, I've hit my limit.
Okay. I'll talk to you. Yeah, valid point was brought up about wind farms. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the solution, but one of the things which someone brought up is that there's no mention of energy efficiency. You need to have a combination of things happening, and I understand groups have to work on specific areas, but energy efficiency is something that should be mentioned specifically. And yeah, I do. I've had to learn over time. It's something that actually needs to become more prevalent. People think that just because they're buying an energy efficient washer, dryer, refrigerator, air conditioner, there needs to be more done about it, and a lot more done along those lines. We'll see how things turn out over time. We're not looking at the end of it, we're looking at some cars. Or is this? It could be that some groups have dropped out, or maybe they've already headed over to Foley Square or City Hall. Again, anyone who's watching the live stream now or watches the live stream later on, description of this event and the fact about the events that are going to be going on over the next week. Also, there is a donation link in there. If you like the live stream, you like the coverage, and any other live streams I've done, and you're able to, please make a donation. Like I said, you know, no donation is too small, no donation is too large. I've had people donate as little as $3. And yeah, if you had, you know, 100 people donating $3, that adds up. Even though it's like a fee is taken out, it does add up. So right now the group is at Broadway and Chambers, and as you can see, it's extending down here. So I'm assuming they're going directly across from City Hall. So I'm going to try and get you a wide view from across the street, since I think they're going to be, yeah. So basically, they went down, they marched up Chambers, and they're coming across Broadway right now. So they're not going to Cuomo's office or to Foley Square. So it must be specifically, I would think, going across from City Hall or City Hall Park. I couldn't see them heading straight back down to Battery Park. If they do, that would really be counterproductive as far as I look at it. It's a good visual, but yeah, if they went back to Battery Park, that wouldn't be a good visual in terms of like fighting for change in this area. Now, if they stopped at Zuccotti Park, that's making a statement in and of itself. But even if the ones that are putting this together, the Greens that are putting this together, even if they did know something about the history of Zuccotti Park, I don't think it would ring any heartstrings for them, and understand a significant statement that would actually make. But I could be surprised. We'll see how it goes. So as it stands right now, they have small barricades on the other side of the street, on the west side of the street. So they're basically marching in within a designated area. And like I said, there are children along, so it's understandable why that is taking place. And I'm saying that because I know some people will criticize the fact that they're not taking the streets, that they're not, you know, pushing the limits by doing that. You have children along the lines, you need to, you know, think twice about how you're doing your actions. And as I always say, if people have an issue with that, then they need to organize their own where they are pushing the boundaries. The old saying of dance with the one that brought you. Yeah, so they're extending down. They are definitely having a visual impact on a lot of people. Okay, so I don't know how this is playing out. Right now they're marching past Park Avenue, so it's not like they're going into City Hall Park. I mean, I think it would have been a lot more powerful statement if they'd marched up to Cuomo's office, but considering that, you know, it's limited in how radical some groups are, you know, different tactics for different people. But even if I was going to down this shorter distance, I would have at least utilized City Hall Park, because the park is here. It's right outside City Hall, or at least the Foley Square. See someone with a Light Brigade sign over there. I mean, considering the time that the march is supposed to go, they could have made it to Cuomo's office. But in order to do that, they would have actually had to have just pushed through and kept going and not stopped. But again, this is specifically designed to create conversations, media attention on it. You know, hopefully some groups will do a little more direct stuff related. And again, also bringing up the issue of energy efficiency that needs to take place. Yeah, I'm staying up close towards the front part just because I'm trying to get a sense of where they're actually going to be ending the march at. I mean, there's the possibility of going to the pier, which wouldn't make sense. I mean, marching down Broadway this direction, there is the possibility of Zuccotti Park, Wall Street. Yeah, Zuccotti Park, Wall Street, Smithsonian Native American Museum, or back to Battery Park. Those are the four places I would think that they're going to. One of those four is where they're probably going to be marching to. And as you can see, the march is still stretching back down to Chambers. And part of that is because of them being curtailed to one side of the street, basically one lane. If they were to spread out for two lanes, then yeah, it would still be. No, it's not. You need to find out the issues before calling them crazy. This guy's calling them crazy. He actually thinks that everything's okay with the environment, I guess. Maybe he should move to coal country and actually start digging coal. Then maybe he'd be happy with that. He's silent about it right now. But then again, you always have idiots that don't have an education that start talking. And his partner's just shaking his head because they always try to ignore. They should think before calling people stupid. If any of you guys recognize any of them, any of my people here in the U.S. or overseas, when you run into them, actually call them out on it. Okay, so, as we were saying, besides those two idiots, I just don't have the tolerance for people that are idiots any longer. And I'm getting tired of people making comments without actually knowing what's going on. I mean, these workers out here know more about the issues going on the environment than those two guys. Okay, we're passing now by the Fulton station. Okay, we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, my guidance is going to be one of 4 places they're going to end the march. Zuccotti Park. And that's because of the significance with Occupy Wall Street and a lot of stuff that's been coming out over the last month regarding Occupy as well as Occupy Wall Street, the 7-year anniversary, S17, the historical significance in the fight. In addition, if they don't stop there, I'm thinking either Wall Street, Smithsonian Native American Museum, or Battery Park. We'll see what happens. Well, they're using a standard Occupy chant down in this area, so let's see if they have the actual guts to actually utilize it, which is one of the reasons why I actually am going to cut over, just in case. So if they do decide to go, I want to make sure I'm over here covering that. So let's see what's going on up here. Okay, I'm seeing what the motorcycles are going to try and push them to do. Come on, guys. Let's Okay, so they have them down. Okay, here's an interesting point. Okay, so this is a significant point that they're actually marching into Zuccotti Park.
Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
And as you can see, there's a shit ton of...
Tell me what democracy looks like. 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 Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool. Move New York off fossil fuels. Cuomo, don't be a fool.
So, like I said, the march is moving into Zuccotti Park right now. Definitely go ahead and share that out, push it out to as many people as possible, invite your friends.
What time is it? Don't be a fool! Move New York off fossil fuels! Don't be a fool! What time is it? It's time to rise! What time is it? It's time to rise! For climate jobs and justice! What time is it? It's time to rise! What time is it? It's time to rise! What time is it? It's time to rise! For climate jobs and justice! What time is it? It's time to rise! What time is it?
Which is actually a good prep for S17. you can see, the folks are streaking all the way back to march to the Fulton subway station. Stop offshore drilling. Drilling is killing. Yeah, anybody online, I can get a few screenshots. It would definitely be appreciated. Screenshot, share them out. Invite your friends. Go ahead, reshare. Looks like people's puppets are coming home.
Thank you. Get fossil fuel. Get down. Get up. Get down. Keep fossil fuel in the ground. Get up. Get down. Keep fossil fuel in the ground.
That's right, folks. We're in Zuccotti Park right now for climate justice.
Fossil fuel in the ground. Get up. Get down.
This is the kickoff march for a week of climate justice actions that are going to be taken on across the country.
Get down. Keep fossil fuels in the. Get up. Get down. Keep fossil fuels.
Okay, I'm going to move around because I need to.
Get down. Keep fossil fuels in the ground. 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 What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Solar power. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Solar power. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Solar power. When do we want it? Now. 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 What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Climate justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Climate justice. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. What time is it? It's time to rise. Climate justice. Please help pay for this amazing event! Please help pay for this amazing event! Give what you can! $5, $500, 5 cents! Please help pay for this amazing event! Come over here and give what you can, whether it's $5 or $5 million or 5 cents, we'll take it! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, green power in New York State. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, renewable power in New York State. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, renewable power in New York State. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. down? Who shuts it down? We shut it down. Who shuts
Maryland!
it down?
Maryland!
Who shuts it down? We shut it down. Who shut it down? We shut it down.
Yeah, keep sharing it out and inviting. Definitely. I know what the numbers shows about how many are live, but there are always more people watching on the shares. They don't always show up on here, so keep sharing it out there. It is working.
We're coming to an end. A couple quick announcements. If you have one of the beautiful painted signs.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We are still raising money to pay for this amazing event. If you want the people's climate,
You guys know it.
organizing events like this tonight, please dig into your wallet, give what you can, whether it's $5,
Yeah,
$20.
Yeah, it's true. They need to raise funds. It takes a lot to put on something like this, but yeah, there are.
Put it on this table right here. Signs on the table in the center.
Signs on the table! Unless you want to take it. No, let's hold
Hey, welcome home.
Oh, it's good to be home.
Well, walking in, I was telling people there was only 4 places people could go. City Hall, Sugani Park, as I thought was a landslide. I said Battery Park would make no sense to go back to. And I was like, it works.
Yeah, it does. Keeps the tradition going. Before the anniversary.
Well, that's the reason Union Square for certain things and then Foley for others. It's
Yeah, it has tradition.
true.
This has too, right?
Very true. So yeah, so you have you know, the group, they finished the march down here at Zuccotti Park. As you heard someone mention, it's about tradition, the history, the significance. I know some of you are always like putting that down a little bit, but there is history and significance. This park, the actions that took place here, and stuff that still goes on, like the anniversary, really resonates with a lot of people and a lot of the youth also, because a lot of them remember what happened. But they were too young to take part, so the idea of being involved in groups and then coming here is a visual statement. You can notice that by the high presence of police around as well. And the barricades, which they're probably going to be leaving up for a while over the...
Alright, let's go see what crazy videos.
Oh no, because I thought you had said you were in California, that's why.
No, I was just surprised that
Happened. Yeah, it was nice that they came. I mean, here there's significance. No matter what everyone always is saying, it's important. I mean, the police are around making sure people don't stay in the park. No, I wouldn't either, but it's always funny when I can tell that they pass a lot and they're just like, okay, let's just make sure that they leave at a certain time. Well, one of these people do remember, but they were too young to ever be down here, so even for them, the idea of being in the park is like, yeah, I was down there, I went down there on the climate justice march. You know, it was nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot going on down here. Me and Money are still pulling different groups and stuff together, but there's going to be a lot going on. Right. what's people's? How you doing?
Okay.
Keeping busy?
Yeah, school got me.
How's school going?
Huh?
How's school going?
Just got me drained with energy. I just came out.
Okay.
And it's all this conversation. Like, oh, shit. Recognize it.
Yeah, it's good. This is the climate justice march, the kickoff for an entire week of stuff. Not here, but around the country.
Right. A lot of stuff was like showing up for DC. I'm like, I can't make it to DC for the next kids. I'm like, I'm coming to
Oh, DC for what?
A lot of the events seem to be like very DC and other people.
Oh, Kavanaugh and then the healthcare issues and stuff. Yeah, I've been getting there and then coming back, but it's like finding the cheapest bus at night, sleeping on the bus, going down there, then sleeping on the bus to come back. You know, it takes its toll on you, and it's not always easy to do. And when they do have buses, a lot of times it's like really early in the morning, and depending on if you're doing other stuff, or okay, do I have to be down there more than one day, or can I just go down and come back out of it? It's good. And this was a nice action, you know. And that they ended it here at Zuccotti, so I was happy with that.
So Cuomo is messing up?
Well, Cuomo is always messing up. I mean, they committed to like renewable energy, the wind farms, but it's like they've been dragging their feet on that, you know, since then. That's been like 2 years now, or 3 years, but he's been dragging his feet on it. But it's an election year, so, you know, he's pretty nervous, so need to remind him. Oh, Cuomo sent in Nixon stuff.
I know all about this.
Well, if they don't have a chance to win, I mean, they still say vote, but yeah, a lot of people voted for certain things during the whole country, and that's not going to happen. I'm not saying it would help, but it might have made a difference. So, yeah, there's a lot. You know, sometimes, I mean, this isn't as bad as most stuff. Lot on. Hey Richard, David. Sorry guys, I was not following along with the stuff for a little bit. Yeah, this is the kickoff event for the climate change actions that are going to be taking place over the next week. It started in Battery Park. Basically, this is the kickoff event for the nationwide series of marches and rallies. I'll talk to you guys. And what they did, basically, they held a rally in Battery Park. Yeah, I put the estimate at somewhere like over 1,000 people were involved in the march. They marched down Greenwich to Church, all the way across Church to Chambers. Then they made a right up to Broadway and then marched back down Broadway here to Zuccotti Park. And I'm pretty sure a number of people that were doing this understood the significance of the park, which was a good thing. And those of you that were watching the stream, I told you there were probably 4 locations that they would probably stop at. One would have most likely been City Hall, but they passed that, so I said either Zuccotti Park, Wall Street, Smithsonian Native American Museum, or back to Battery Park, which made no sense to me. Native American Museum. That made no sense. So the whole idea of Zuccotti Park or Wall Street were at the top of my list. And yeah, they made the right into here. And as you can see, yeah, you still have the police that went along with the march. They're probably going to be out here for a while. Yep, there's a familiar image, a grouping of police officers under the big red thingy. For those of you who don't know, the big red thingy is the three-legged iron sculpture, which is on the northwest side of Zuccotti Park. Yeah, actually there was one time someone actually climbed up it in the middle of the night and was in the center of it. That was a whole other series of events. But yeah, I got a feeling they're gonna leave those barricades out for a while that are along Broadway, because they know some stuff is coming up. And I also think they looked at it as a training test by dealing with this march coming here for stuff coming up towards the middle of this month. So we're going to see how it happens, because I'm noticing who's actually out here across the street, as you can see. Yeah, they're always keeping track on stuff, and could be watching the live stream for all I know, which, like I always say, I'm never surprised at stuff like that. It's like they're doing their job, they're going to do it anyway. Anyone who's surprised that anyone, when you have a public live stream, isn't watching needs a reality check. It's like when you put an event up, if it's public, anyone's going to know about it. Never be surprised if police are there or something. Sometimes they'll swing by just to check it out, see how large it is and stuff. If you're live streaming, yeah, they're going to check it. They want to see what's going on also, especially if they're not in the center. So you pick and choose what you live stream, what you talk about. That's why I always tell people, be careful what you talk about or chat on in a live stream. So it's actually looking a little nice. This was actually a good march. Yeah, they definitely ended up with a lot of press. I already know that. And basically NYPD is just waiting around until they finish here and leave. Probably when this crowd is cut in half, they'll probably send half of their people away. But as long as they're here chanting and stuff, at the drums, they're gonna keep the same number you see out here. It's just, it's their policy. As you can see, there's none down at this end of the park. It's just up at this part, because they can see how many people are in here. So, don't forget to share it out. Invite your friends to watch it. As soon as I go off, I'm going to go ahead and share it out. Also, if you like the live stream, feel free to donate. It's in the description of the live stream, but I'm actually going to put it here again. If you're able to, definitely go ahead and make a donation. It's what allows me to go ahead and keep live streaming and actually get to some of the stuff that's actually happening, not just here in New York, but also in DC, Albany, and possibly Chicago, regarding the 16-year-old kid that was shot by the police there. I may be heading out there to actually cover that. A few people asked me. combination of covering and actually doing some other stuff related to it. It just depends once I get there on the assessment. If I'm not streaming, I'm probably organizing or working on something else related to it. Everyone remember S17, September 17th, the anniversary. Yeah, we've been talking to a number of groups that are going to be here. That'll be up on the event page soon. A number of teach-ins and other things going on, which I won't go into here, but will be up on the event page, and a lot of stuff will be surprise for everyone. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in. I have to follow up on some other stuff. Yeah, these guys are going to be okay. So I'm going to head out. I've still got stuff to do online regarding S17, as well as Millions Mass March November 5th. Still trying to follow up with stuff on the Veterans Peace Parade, because I know a lot of people have been asking about being able to get down there for that. Those that are going to the Millions Mass March in DC, we already have someone who's booked the church where people will be able to stay. He went ahead and put a deposit down, but we're still going to have to raise $300 to pay off the balance, and that's for 2 nights there. And this church, I think it actually has a maximum number of like 120 people who can actually stay in the church, and I think we've pushed that a little bit, but it's the perfect thing for people getting in late on the 4th. So they have a place to get some rest, and then also after the march that day and any actions going on in the evening, place to come back to rest, and then leave on the 6th. So again, a lot of stuff's going to be going on. I will be keeping you guys updated. Also, some stuff's going to be going on regarding election fraud, as well as NAFTA and a few other things. It just depends on how things are going over the next week and how much time I'm able to divide up. Again, I was originally going to be having a group meeting tonight, but this was going on and I felt it was more important to be here and cover this. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys on the front line. Please keep sharing and supporting. Everyone have a great evening.